Hey everyone, it is Kelly Ann. Welcome to my channel. If you are new here, welcome, and if you are returning, welcome back. So I went a little MIA after my last video, unintentionally for sure. And we all say that every single time, but I had started recording for the next video. And now it's just been so long that I'm just not going to use that footage. The main clip though, that if I were to include anything, it was of my sew along quilt. There's something in the back of my throat that's it was for my sew along quilt. I had just finished the binding. It was a Friday. I was trying to get out the door as soon as I got off work to make the drive down there, because different times of the day, the drive is a different length of time because there's more or less traffic on the road, obviously. And so I was trying to get there before she closed on a Friday afternoon. And so I made a quick clip, and it was very like scatterbrained all over the place. And anyways, I will have that quilt back in August. So I will just show the fully finished sew along quilts then. But if you are in the area of Montgomery Quilt Company, you should stop in and check it out. Join the sew along, follow them on Facebook, and then the private group is linked on her page, so you can join us. And yeah, the videos, the very first video of what supplies you need went out last Wednesday. So the first video, the cutting video, will come out Wednesday, June 21st, which, by the way, is Sunday, June 4th. I don't remember if I said that. I really don't. So anyways, the videos will take us through to the final Wednesday in July. So it's perfect. It like truly is a like summer long project. Anyways, I have a fair amount of haul in front of me and some finished quilt tops and just a lot going on in my brain. And so let's recap. So I think I had just had my MRI the day before. I'm pretty sure. Maybe that was the week before. The week before. So I got back my MRI results the week that I kind of went MIA. And I have bone spurs. My kneecap sits funny. My ACL is sprained, is really kind of why I was having a really hard time walking, and I was limping a lot and in a fair amount of pain. I have a Baker cyst, and what was the other thing? I don't fully remember. Anyways, I started PT that week that I went MIA after the video. I started PT, but it was more of like catching the doctor up with like, she was kind of like, she wanted to know like, did I do anything like crazy that injured it? Or like, how long have I been dealing with this? What are some of the things that I've done in my past that could have made this worse, or done XYZ 1, 2, 3, and all this stuff. And so that kind of one was like more of a wash in a way. I did get a little bit of homework. I basically needed to take a rolling pin and roll my leg, roll the knots out of my leg. And so that's not the most unpainful thing to do, but it is better than a foam roller. You have more control of like where it hits. You can do smaller sections at a time, and you can control the pressure Whereas on a foam roller, you can control the pressure to a degree, but it is like you're like laying on it. So like it's, you know, weight is the pressure. Which in this instance, with my leg being so irritated and upset around my knee, wasn't the best idea. So did that actually for 2 weeks. So my PTs are scheduled for every week, every Wednesday. At least the first 3 after that initial one. But that next week, so the week that I was recording for initially, there was a mishap. I woke up on Tuesday morning, that Tuesday, and I was like, so weird. We're going to get like 2 hours of rain, like out of nowhere this afternoon. And the yard was crazy tall. And I was like, I just have to suck it up. I have to do the yard. Because at this point, it had been 3 weeks going on a month where I hadn't mowed. And mowing last time exacerbated the pain of my knee. But I was like, I have to mow it. If we get rain, and then we were supposed to get even more rain after that. Like the next couple of days, we were supposed to intermittently get a fair amount of rain. And so I was like, I'm not going to be able to mow my yard because it's going to be too high, too tall, just too much. And it's already high again. So this next week I have to focus on that. But I took my lunch hour early. I took my lunch at like 10 in the morning instead of like 11 or 11:30. I went ahead, I took it super early, and I mowed the backyard. I was able to get all of the backyard done, and I hit kind of like the higher spots in the front yard. My front yard doesn't grow as fast or as thick as my backyard because there's so many trees and so many pine trees and so much shade in my front yard. And I have St. Augustine. St. Augustine loves sun. And so there's sections of my grass in the front yard that gets way more sun than others. So it looks a lot nicer. It's hit or miss how nice somebody's like front yard looks in my neighborhood. There's a lot of shade. There's a lot of pine trees. And so, yeah, it's fine. I don't hang out in my front yard anyways. I hang out in my backyard if I'm going to hang out in my yard. So I would rather my backyard look nicer. Anyways, so I got that mowed. And then I'm on the phone with my coworker. We're having our Tuesday afternoon brainstorm session around like 2:15, 2:30 to 4 o'clock is whenever our brainstorm session is. And at like 2, I think we had like called early because we needed to talk about something. I don't remember. Anyways, it's just the two of us anyways. So in this brainstorm session. So I was like, wow, it got dark really fast. I was like, I thought they were kidding about us getting this rain. So I was like, I guess they were being serious. And it got dark, but not like dark. It like, I don't know how to explain it. It was like, it was dark, but in the distance you could see it light. So it wasn't like it got pitch black out of nowhere, like kind of a storm. It was kind of like an in-between. It was very weird. And then all of a sudden the wind was insane, like intense, insane. I took a video. I was on a Teams call with her, and I took a video of what was going on outside of my window here. And my pecan tree, some of the branches, this is how pecan trees aren't just like super like wavy and limber, you know, like other types of trees. And it was getting swooshed around, branches touched the ground. This was some intense wind, and it very reminiscent of what I'm used to being closer to like the coast down like in Galveston with hurricanes. But it was out of nowhere. And I was on the phone with her and I said, I feel like I should be in a closet right now. I told her, but it said it's not, the sky isn't green. I'm not hearing a train sound, because that's what they tell you to look out for tornadoes. Or that's what we're told in Texas to look out for for tornadoes is the sky will kind of go this weird green color, like hazy kind of greenish color, and it sounds like a train is barreling around you. Neither of those, but the wind was insane and it was circular. And so I'm on this call and I was like, I legit feel like I need to be in a closet. I was like, I don't know if I should be I was like, I don't know what to do. And like the power flickered like 3 times, but we kept power the whole time. And within about 10, 15 minutes max, all of that had like stopped. And then the rain even lightened up and everything. And it was really intense and kind of scary. And then about 15 minutes later, in different chats that we're in, one chat that me and this coworker are in, one of the coworkers apparently lives literally a block away from me, not even a block away from me, in an apartment, and she caught it trying to form a cyclone. Like on video, she caught this like tornado-like thing trying to form a cyclone, and like just passed by her. So in our neighborhood. And then other coworkers in a different chat that the one that I was on the phone with isn't in, they started saying, my wife is on her way to College Station and the power lines are snapped in half along like one of the main like highways in town. Right off the freeway, like the main interstate freeway. And then another one said part of the roof fell off of one of the units and was landing on cars. Another one of our coworkers lives in like a small trailer community that is on state property, a kind of like diagonal from the unit where the roof was falling off and landing on vehicles. And she said that her husband was at home and felt their trailer lift and land back down. And she sent me pictures like the next day of how far off the blocks their house now was. Like it was slanted and diagonal and like in some spots elevated off of the blocks. And one of our other coworkers lives in the same little community, and asked her if his house was okay. And she said, well, my husband said that you now have a shed in your front yard that wasn't there earlier. And so apparently it was trying to form a twister, a cyclone, however you want to label a tornado. And it didn't fully do that, but in its attempts to, it's like cyclonic winds, like we're forming and we're pushing down and causing like some of what I was seeing. And so my neighbor across the street, one of their trees fell in their backyard and only took down part of the fence. A house literally on the next street over from me, a tree fell and landed on it like in the middle of the house, and fair amount of damage to the roof. And I don't know about structure or anything like that, but did a fair amount of damage. And then from basically our street back, it just got worse. There were trees down everywhere. They were without power for pretty much the rest of the week. One of my Quilt Guild friends didn't get her power back until like Friday afternoon or Saturday morning or something like that. It was, I mean, they didn't have it for almost 5 days. And Friday, the power here finally went out because I guess in the repairs of all that, some of the transformers blew and threw out the entire area again, which then it included a larger amount of people. But anyways, PT that week got canceled because they didn't have power. And it's really insane. The parts of town where the poles literally were snapped in half by this, they didn't get power back until like Saturday or Sunday. entire parking lots were completely shut down for cleanup and repairs and for linemen to be parked and to like sleep. And anyways, very crazy. It was an intense week and my brain was just kind of all over the place at that point. And just not sleeping well because again, we kept on getting smaller storms or the threat of smaller storms. So, you know, it's just like, oh gosh. So I'm very, very thankful, very blessed where I'm at that I didn't have damage, but I have friends who did have damage. And it's just very scary. Lots of neighbors in the back half of the neighborhood had houses fall like in dead center in their house. So a little scary. And then this last week, I was just going. And so I just have a lot to show you. It got to like a point where it was like, I should just do one bigger video. If that, you know, like at some point it's like, I'm not going to vlog this. I have too much to catch up on. So I might as well just do one big video. So I do remember kind of what I needed to show you guys as far as haul goes. As far as haul from before I went MIA, I have one thing. So this is the Halloween by Urban Chicks for Moda Spooky Cuties Ghost, which just means the background color is the white. And I also got this from Honey Quilt. And I may or may not order one more thing from her. Well, I mean, I might order from her again, just in general. But she still has some of the kitty corn mauve candy corn fabric that I wanted to do the binding in. But with how big this quilt is going to be, the double-sided Halloween kitty corn quilt is going to be, that's not going to be enough that I got. I got half a yard and I need 3/4 of a yard. So I may have to order another half yard of that from her. But it's Honey Quilt, HUNNIE quilt.etsy.com. Super fast shipping. It comes from Cypress, California. And once again, like the tiniest and cutest handwriting ever. And her name is Mew Mew, I think. But anyways, also it's always like they've been packaged so cute. And she sent another little half of a 4th sample. And this is so pretty. I really, really love this. This like screams like vintage patriotic to me. So anyways, that is a haul. And this stuff is recent, but I do remember showing this to you guys and talking to you about this. This is Studio Ease from the Bone Collection. Skull, kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of like platy, argyle-y, like, I don't know, wallpaper. And so this inspired me to doodle out a quilt for my sorority, and I want to do it in purples or purple like adjacent type colors. And there's 3 sailboats on it, and our symbol is skull and crossbones, hence the reason for the purple skull and crossbones. This I think I'm going to save strictly for the border, and I want the inside to be scrappy. I want the letters to be scrappy. I want the purple waves in the water to be scrappy. I want the background to be scrappy, like low volume scrappy prints. But so I picked out some purples, and I threw in like some raspberry kind of ones as well, just because they looked really nice. So I did pick up these purples at one of my local shops the other day. I think those all look super nice together. And if they're mixed with low volumes, I think that's going to look super, super stunning. And I am not a purple gal. I don't normally pick out purples. I don't. But these were too good to pass up. So kind of, you know, brighter purples into darker ones, into like the raspberries, into like a more true purple, into like this bluey purples. But I do want to add in a couple of lighter ones as well. So there's a thatched purple that's kind of like this one, but a little bit brighter. And then there's a light purple grunge that Kimberly also has. So I'm just gonna calculate the size that I've made it. I'm gonna calculate, make sure this is enough fabric for the borders. And if not, I may pick up a little bit more of this. And then maybe it can also be binded in that. But she has like 2 or 3 purples that I wouldn't mind adding to this to bring in some lighter colors and maybe tie in these like brighter ones a little bit better. But on the sailboats, I drew a tiny little flag, okay? And this spacing is actually going to be perfect. I've already kind of like looked at it. I am going to have to fussy cut out this fabric so that way the half square lands just right to be the little flag, but there's enough spacing around it to where there will be 1 per tiny flag, as long as I space it correctly. And anyways, all 3 of my sailboats are gonna have baby pirate flags. So my blocks that I designed it are 2-inch finished. And so if I cut it, you know, like all the way around here, so a little bit will get wasted, but if I do my 3 blocks, you know, a little offset with a lot of black around them, then I can fussy cut my half square triangle after I've cut it, and I will have a single triangle with the pirate flag in it, which this is literally our badge. These 2 are literally our badge. So anyways, 3 tiny little cuts are gonna come off of this fat quarter. It is a Dear Stella print from the Boo collection, and it just came out. And so I got this from Fabric Fetish. I've ordered from Fabric Fetish before. I got my Mod Cat quilt backing from them, and I think something else. But anyways, they're also on Etsy, Fabric Fetish. And anyways, they had some, I paid the same amount of shipping that I basically did for this one fat quarter, but I couldn't not, because it's just spaced out so well. I can fussy cut it to be the little pirate flag. So that was super lucky of a find. And look how great it looks with all these purples. So I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad about that at all. So something else that I did, and I did mess this up, the binding does not look very good, but aside from that, I am rather proud at myself for this. So I made my first By Annie bag, and honestly, I kind of wish I would have left it square. I thought about it, but you're supposed to round the corners, and this is how I messed up. I was using scraps, and I had leftover binding from my sew along quilt, and I've never done on bias binding. I've never done it, so I didn't know or understand just how different it makes it, especially if you're doing curves. So I used scrap binding from my quilt, which means it wasn't done on bias, and it was too thick. It was supposed to be thinner. But aside from the binding looking like absolute trash, not everywhere, but in a fair amount of places, aside from that, I'm pretty proud about this. I worked with mesh for the first time. I did my first zipper, and it actually looks really good. I created like my own design with leftovers, and I quilted my handle. So I just did a little simple one, but Anyways, I used scraps for all of this. I used one of my initial test blocks, and I quilted it. I didn't do heavy quilting. I did very light quilting, but I used a lot of scrap fabrics in this and selvages, and then the front is all selvages. So we have a sketchbook selvage, we have a sugar selvage with the cute little sleeping cloud, and then we have an added up selvage which says sew, make, quilt, color, thread, stitch equals added up. And so yeah, so the binding is, you can see it's all messed up. But again, first time using mesh, first time doing a zipper, so not mad about that part of it. And then I have a little bit of haul. I also have a little bit of haul. But anyway, so my inside, I did it split of the neutral cats from Reading Nook and the hot pink, I think it's called lipstick actually, birthday frosting from the birthday collection that came out 2021. Wow. So I have a couple of quilts to show you. One of them being the Italian flag exploding heart, but I also doodled out an American flag and a Texas flag. And I now have an idea for the American flag that I want to do. And people are probably going to think that I'm crazy, and I'm fine with that. I don't care. But I was trying to decide, because the Italian flag, I went with like grunges and like, it's like a line where it kind of looks like it's paint, but it's on fabric. And then like the X print, which is this print right here. I grabbed white, red, and green in that print. It's a basic, and I also got it in this one. It's a basic. I love this. There's a lot of variegation and like movement in it. And then the music note fabric and all that kind of stuff. So you'll see that at the end. I'm going to show you the 3 quilt tops that I have to show you. I feel like I have another one, but I don't. I don't think. If I do, it's hiding somewhere and I don't know where it is. But I was like, do I want to do something similar and keep it more toned down for the Texas quilt or the American quilt? And then I want to do a Ruby Star version. And so I put a poll. My heart for the Ruby Star was leaning more towards the Texas, because I am doing a more traditional Texas one eventually that I customized. And so that one's going to be a little bit more, it has prints in it, as Texas themed prints in it, but it is still going to be a little bit more traditional than like an all Ruby Star or something like that. So I was leaning towards the Ruby Star being the Texas one anyways. And I put up a poll on Instagram, and the Texas one won to be the Ruby Star. So it is harder to find navies, white on whites, and reds in Ruby Star. They exist, but in very small amounts. Probably navy is easier to find than the white on white or really bright, nice reds. Until a chroma, there's several white on whites in a chroma, but anyways, you get my point. They are harder. So I went ahead, I had a little bit of credit at the store, and then I obviously paid some over, but I got a couple of things with my credit. I got the mesh to make my bag and the zipper to make my bag. I got this partially used, this is my favorite color as well, but I got this partially used 2,000 yards of Metler silk finish cotton thread, which is what I sew with. Literally. So I picked this up partially used, so it was on like sale, super sale. And then I picked up some of the fat quarters I need to make the Texas Exploding Heart. I picked out all of my fabrics though for the Texas Exploding Heart. I just don't have all the fabrics. So I was going for 6 blues, 6 white on whites / creams, and 6 reds. So I picked up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I picked up 5 of the reds, the ones that were kind of like the lowest in stock. So I have 1 more red to pick up, but I got this speckled. And this speckled actually pulls a little bit more orange. So I got this really cute one from Tiny Darlings 2 that pulls more orangey red, but also has a pattern in it, which I thought would be really fun. And one of the blues that I pulled has a pattern in it, and one of the whites that I pulled has a pattern in it. Neither of those are here though, but eventually they will be in the quilt. But anyways, I think it looks really nice. And then we have the hole punch. And again, the hole punch is going away, so I really wanted to snag it while I could. Then we have a spark, and this spark again is in the same color as these two. So it's more of like this orangey red, whereas the hole punch is more of like a true bright red. And then we also have the bright red in sugar, which again, sugar was also discontinued. So those are 5 out of my 6 reds for the Texas flag. Okay. And then I picked up 2 of the 6 white ones, and I got the ones that were like selling out the fastest. So this is a brand new one. This is from the collection Little, or it's not Little, it's Little. I can't say it. Lil, but like little. Anyways, I'm trying to say it like with the anyways. It's really cute. It's white on white, these tiny little flowers. Absolutely love this print. And I got the same print in the navy from the same collection. And then this is from the Achroma line, and this is white on white, like little tiny dots. So super cute. The other whites that I picked out, there's way more left of them, and this collection just came out, but somebody, Paige said that she sold a fair amount online, but one of our Quiltfield members came in and bought like yardage of it, so it very quickly dwindled, and I was like, I need to snag some of that ASAP. So I will be getting some of that. This one is from Floridora. This is one of the navies, so we have a little bit of the gold in there, which I don't think any of my whites have any bit of the gold in them, but 2 of the blues and 2 of the reds do. 3 of the blues do. And then this one is also from Floridora. And it's these stripes. And then this is the last one that I picked up for the Texas flag. And this is the same one as the white, the little flowers. And this one was starting to like pick up speed at being deplenished. So I went ahead and snagged that while I could as well. So I already have my other colors picked out, and I think I know what I want to do the background in. So I thought that I was going to do maybe like a tame background, like a solid again, but I wanted to do kind of like an army green. But there is a ruby star added up that is like an army, like a dark khaki mossy army green, and I think this would look really cool with it. So that may be my background. anyways, so that's the Exploding Heart Texas flag. And I'm going to be doing that with my friend Eve. And she already started getting her fat quarters. So I think we're starting that end of July, beginning of August. So I have time to get the rest of my prints and my fabrics and all of that, at least for the top. And then for the US flag, I think I want to do the background in brown. I think I want to do brown, and I want to do reproduction Civil War prints. That's what I want to do. So there's a lot for the blues. There's a lot of really pretty like teals, and like I'm gonna pick florals, and like they all have like really beautiful like florals and like little tiny prints in them. So as long as the background is the color, then I'm okay with that. Because some of the creams that I want to use have like actual florals on them, but they still from far away read cream because the background is cream, and there's enough of the background showing that it doesn't pull. But anyways, I want to do creams, reproduction creams, the teals, and kind of like the pinks, the reproduction pinks. So the pinks might take me a minute to find. Doris has one, and then she has a bunch of reds, and she used to have a lot more of the pinks than she does now. She may have one other, but I need to find, anyways, I only need probably like 3 blues for the American flag, and then majority of it is going to be red and white, so, or red and cream or pink and cream or whatever. And so I think brown was a color, like a big color in Civil War, and it plays really nicely with the creams and the pinks, the dusty mauvey pink, like dusty rose kind of colors. May throw like a red in there, like you know, like I may throw a navy in with the blues. I don't know, it depends. But I may throw in like 1 or 2 like darker mauvey reds, but I want to kind of go with like the more pastel reproductions. I think it's going to look really, really, really cool. And I haven't decided if the brown is also going to be a reproduction fabric, or there's a grunge called Buffalo that's really, really pretty, and it goes from being kind of like a brighter brown to a darker brown in the grunge fashion. And it's a lot of the tones that a lot of the Civil War reprint colors are as far as the browns go. So may try and I'd have to order that one online. I don't think anybody local has the Buffalo colorway unless anybody wants to order it, because I would need like 4.5 yards off the bolt. So, you know, they would for sure have like a third of it sold for sure. So anyways, that's kind of my thought process on that. I finished my Italy quilt today, and I've already posted it, and like 3 people have made a comment about me possibly commissioning one for them. The Italian version and possibly an Argentinian version. So that would be really cool. But also, okay, so the Head Start quilts. So I also in that time period went to the Head Start walking foot class. So I do still need to put binding on these 3. So I'm going to search through my stuff and find some leftover black. I've done a lot of projects with solid black in them, the Texas quilt, the Snoopy quilt, and I'm going to pull the leftovers of that and make some binding probably for this one in the black to pull out some of those colors. And so this is one of them. This is probably my favorite just because I love this center print. They're so cute. And then the back. And then the second one is this one. Nothing on the front is cat, but the backing fabric is cat. So this is the other one that I quilted. And then this is the cat background. So for this one, because it's so like pinks and all that, I was going to use, this might not work. It might be okay with the outside. I don't know, maybe not. Anyways, I was going to try and use this as the binding. It's a little off, but it's all different colors of pink, so maybe it won't be that big of a deal. I don't know. If y'all think that's like too crazy of a color, pink, I could also always re-dye this. But anyways, I was just thinking like that could be really cute. It's another pink in the pink quilt. And use that leftovers as binding. And then this is another one that I would probably use black. So honestly, at this point, I should probably just go buy a half yard of black. But this one I need to unpick a little bit because apparently they did not give me a full yard for background fabric. That's great. So whenever we squared it up, some of it was missing, but that's okay. I just have to unpick a little bit. I just have to unpick enough to where I have scraps of it. I just need to add a scrap from here to here on the back, then re-tack it down in the couple of places that I unpick the quilting, and it'll be good to go, and just put binding on it. So this one, I'm probably also going to put black binding, like I said. And this one has cats on the front and has cats on the back. All right. Quilt tops, quilt tops, quilt tops. Okay. So I really need to get back to working on my samples. So this is what some of the Christmas sweater main part of the blocks look like. So I am almost done with all the green. I just have to finish sewing the final rows together, and then all the green ones will be done, and I'm working on the red ones. So the red ones are at the point to be put together. So that is going to be my priority for this next week, is working on this. I'm probably not going to get to work on it at all tomorrow because tomorrow is our Quilt Guild meeting. So Tuesday through Friday, my goal is going to be to get this one done, and possibly the birthday presents quilt. That one should go a lot faster. But like part of me is like, I should just start that one and knock that one out. But I think that one will be a lot faster and quicker. So I honestly really want to get this one done because it's not a hard pattern. There is just a lot of moving parts and it just takes a really long time. So want to get this one done. But yeah, almost the green ones are literally sitting over here to do them like in between putting together the centers. And then once the centers are done of the reds, then it's going through and doing that. Then it's really just sewing a bunch of strips together, cutting them, and like making like the little candy cane things. It's a lot of moving parts. It's not a hard pattern. It's just a lot. And it's actually a wasteful pattern, which that's kind of like the more upsetting part. Okay, let's see what else before I show these 3 quilt tops. That's kind of my goal for this week, is to work on the sample quilts. And I need to work on editing. The next video comes out on the 21st, so I do have plenty of time. So I do want to focus on editing, but I also want to focus on getting these sample quilts done. So if I focus this week on getting these sample quilts done, then I can shift my focus to working on the editing of the videos and still have plenty of time. And then I can also start working on some stuff for myself, which will be really great. Like pretty much all obligations except for these minis right here will be gone from my house, which I don't have a deadline on these. And I don't have a deadline on these samples either. I just really want to get them done and get them over to Kimberly. So that way she can have them quilted. to display them. So that's where I'm at and what I'm going to be prioritizing this week. I'm going to be prioritizing these 2 samples. And then once that's done, then I might put together the backing for the Urban Chicks Christmas quilt. I might be doing the Halloween because it would be really easy and quick to like knock out. I need to get some movement done on these Head Start quilts, which not this next week, but hopefully the next week, Eve will start wanting to, or will be back. She is back. Eve is back, but she's going on a retreat this week, so we can't hang out and do hand sewing this week either. So maybe the next week we can start doing hand sewing again. So I would love to, by like next Wednesday or Thursday, have at least one of the Head Start quilts with binding on it, so that way I can whip stitch that. And I'll just do that like once a week until the Head Start quilts are done. But okay, tomorrow. So I did go a tiny bit crazy. Somebody tagged me in a quilt that was on display at some shop because the fabric panel was kind of like the woman in gold, but done in a cat. And I did a little bit of searching and I found that it's not that old of a collection, and I was able to find it on Etsy, and I got free shipping for like pretty much everything. And so I splurged and I got it, and I'm not upset about it, but it came from 3. Oh, I also ordered some of the Teresa Cougat's Kringle, and I forget what it's called, but it's her patriotic line that came out at the beginning of the year in fabric. Anyways, I ordered some of those. So 3 different fabric packages are coming tomorrow. So that'll be in the next video. And I've already doodled out the design for the cat one. And I haven't doodled out for the other 2, but I mean, I wouldn't put it past me to have something figured out, at least for Kringle. And I also want to doodle out something for the Halloween Teresa Cougat, because it would be really nice just to get that one done as well. And I just might make them smaller throws because her panels are quite big. So like they're pretty decent size. So I might just do a patchwork on one side and do the panel as the back with like a small border. Anywho. Anyhoozles. So there's that. And tomorrow in the mail, my 100 Ruby Star economy block swaps. So my 10 sets of 10 that I sent off to the swap host in Houston, they are arriving tomorrow. So I will have 100 Ruby Star economy blocks arriving tomorrow. And I'm going to separate them by color from the outside print. So the final border, I'm going to separate them by color, and then I'm going to lay it out into a quilt. But I want to do an 11 by 11. And so that means that I need to make 11 more blocks. So it's going to be like filling in the gaps for like where there's like a little bit like of a lack in color. So I think otherwise I can do a 10 by 10, which will take 100, but then I have like then I have 10 left over because I have one of each of the ones that I made. So I'm not saying that mine would instantly be the ones left out, but then I would still have 10 blocks left over. If I do 11 by 11, I can use all the ones I initially submitted into the swap, all of the ones that I received from around the world, and I will have made a couple additional ones to use as filler. So anyways, I'm excited to see what I get. And I'm tempted to film like a shorter video where I just angle the camera down at the blocks and just show you what all the blocks are. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm excited about it. So probably at my meeting tomorrow night, I might be sorting my 100 blocks by color by the background and like just kind of visualizing it in my head and just taking a look at all of the fabrics that came in, because some people use some older stuff, like the fabric with like the little juice boxes, the fabric with the little balloon dogs and all that kind of stuff, the bears, starry, which that's not older, but it's hard to find certain colors, especially the Mustangs. Anyways, fabrics that I still thought they were all cotton and steel. And then whenever that got kind of like finished for a hot minute, I didn't know they recreated a new like company and like kept on going. So there was like a time period where I wasn't getting any cotton and steel, and I didn't know about Ruby Star yet. So there's some fabrics in there that I might get a little sliver of, which is super exciting. So anyways, let me show you the quilts that I finished in the last 2 weeks. Okay, so the first one I'm going to show you is my highlighter quilt. So I finished my neon and a chroma highlighter windmills. I really like it. I do wish the Citron pulled a little bit more green, but it kind of does. But anyways, this is it. So I'm glad that I went with a pattern where they stay in line. And yeah, it's a little funky. It's a little bright, but that's what I was going for. And it's a pretty decent size. Anyways, very nice. Stella enjoys sleeping on it up here. All right, let me go ahead and show you the Italian flag exploding heart. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be so hard to show. I don't even know. Is it showing it? All right. There's better photos on Instagram, but this is it. I absolutely love it. And you could do the same thing for like the Mexico flag. If you did like some gold and a little bit of green kind of strategically in the white for the eagle holding the, is it olive branches? I don't know, but it's holding greenery. But anyways, look how beautiful it is. Kind of have to encapsulate myself in it to even show it to you. Super excited about this one. This one's getting a lot of oohs and ahs online. And then McKenna's quilt. So kind of was keeping the corners a secret, but the corners all have different skulls on them. And so 2 of them have all of their teeth. And one of them has a gold tooth. This guy also has all of his teeth in this corner. But this guy is missing a few because that happens. But anyways, I am super excited about this. McKenna has seen it. She also loves it. We are just waiting on the ability to quilt it. The quilting pattern is already picked out. Already have the backing. Just have to pick out the thread, but leaning towards a light to medium gray. And then red will be the binding. So it'll get finished off with this beautiful sumac red. Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it so much. And I'm super thankful that McKenna loves it. So whoever sent her this panel, 6 or I don't even know how long. I think she said like somewhere like possibly like 6 to 8 years ago. Wow. It has definitely been used in a really cool way. I did look it up. The panel or I think actually maybe the selvage on the panel said it, but the panel was from, I think, like 2008, I think. So decently older. But yeah, that is everything that I finished in the last 2 weeks, and like give or take a day or so. Okay guys, it's Monday. All of the haul came. So this is kind of an even better video because it's all of the haul. And I'm still going to do a video on my 100 blocks for my swap. I'm gonna color organize them, but I'll show you what else is in my bag because there's some exciting stuff in there. But let's go through the 3 packages, and this one is really fun. It says Happy Mail on it, and this one has a lot in here as well. This is from Cotton Cash. Chill. It's from Cotton Cash on Etsy, and it's CACHE, so like an internet cache. But anyways, they include a list of new arrivals and who they're by, and like the stuff to like really look out for coming to their shop. So I got all the Teresa Cuget stuff, literally. And so this is also the company that I got the Teresa Cuget Halloween fabric from. And I actually ordered a tiny bit more from them earlier today to go with Halloween Whimsy, Bright Stars, and Kringle, because I like mapped them out and I need just a little bit more. So let's see, let's do Olive Kringle first. I was like, oh, I'm missing a print. No, it's just mixed around. Oh, and I will kind of fix this. This looked really nice. So it came in a bag, and they had it in the bag all laid out, like kind of in order, except one of my Kringle prints was out of order. So Kringle, both of these are from Teresa Cuget, who is also a cross-stitch designer, if you don't know that. She's also a painter. She also does needle punch designs, so you can find her doing all kinds of stuff. But she designs fabrics now for the last almost 2 years, I think, for Riley Blake. I didn't get her first line, but you can still get it. It's For the Love of Nature, I think is what it's called, or With Love Nature, something along those lines. Anyways, last year, Halloween Whimsy came out, and I actually have it sitting next to me. It had a panel, which is super cute, and it had this border fabric. Oh, that's upside down. It had this border fabric, which is super cute. And that came out last year. And then at the beginning of this year, Bright Stars came out. I'll show you that in a minute, but because Kringle was kind of on top. So recently Kringle came out. So this is the Kringle panel. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of a border to this guy. And this is going to be the back of a throw quilt because this is a yard of fabric. This is 36 by 42. So I'm going to kind of make it like 48 by 48. Nice little 4 foot by 4 foot throw. And the front is going to be patchwork with these 4 prints, and I ordered one more. I ordered kind of the gold, one of the gold colorways, but in the dark red, we have this one right here, which says Home for Christmas and Santa and Peace on Earth, Goodwill to All, Merry Christmas, Kris Kringle, just very pretty, very nice burgundy dark red, very on point with how she designs. And then I got this print. Now all of these prints have multiple colorways. I decided to go with one colorway per print. So I went with the red for this one because I wanted to do a patchwork. So I went with the red for that one. In the print with the Santa Clauses like hanging out with the reindeer and like the home for Christmas house and all that kind of stuff, I went with the green colorway. Super, super cute. And then for the deer fabric, it's just deer and her little cardinals and poinsettias. And there is a fabric with poinsettias on it. I did not get that one. I went with the black. So this is like, it's going to be like a darker, like moody Christmas vibe, but just sounds super snuggly to me. And then for the cream one, I went with the snowman. And there's little snowman cookies, and then there's actual little like snowmen, and it says December 25th. And this one is like bright, fun, and cheery. So I ordered a print in the gold. I think it's a stripe. Yeah, it's a stripe. So there will also be gold in the mix. And then there is a black with little snows in it that I got for the additional border for the back, because I thought it would fade really nicely into this and would just look like a little bit of snow right next to the panel. And then I ordered some, well, this is also for Bright Stars, so this is for a different project, but this is one of my Bright Stars prints. I ordered some of this to be the binding for that. So, but this goes with my Bright Stars collection. So Bright Stars is a patriotic collection, and there was a lot of the prints that I didn't super like, just because they're just not really my style, for like what they are. And there was a panel for Bright Stars. I didn't like it. Now, if the panel would have had the little people on it, so the panel said, I forget exactly what it says. But it has the house on it, basically. It has this house on it, and it says stuff on the top and the bottom. And it's not for me. If it would have had the people on it and like the eagle and the house, I would have gotten the panel. So what I want to do with this, I just want to make like a runner or something for the kitchen table. I don't want to make anything big or crazy with this, but I really do love these prints. So this is kind of like my focal print. So it's the little patriotic people, and they're super cute. So sometimes they're doing this and sometimes they're doing that. And the eagles are just absolutely stunning. With the little patriotic houses. Now to go with that, I got 2 blues and 2 reds. So I got this floral to go with it and this one. So I'll probably fussy cut some of these and then do some cute piecework on the sides, maybe a little bit of bordering, and just make like a table runner. I have a circular table, so it just needs to be like skinnier and long, but I think that would be really cute. And then for red colorway, I got the same quilting block in this one, and I got this one, which is super cute. So it's these like patriotic kind of flowers with the flag in it. It says Bright Stars on it, but it also says 1776. So I thought that was a super cute line. I did in my other order today also get, I got the cream stars for this one for the binding, or no, for the backing. And then I got the, it's like a dark cream. It's kind of like this taupey color of stripes for the binding. So I do have a little bit more of that coming as well. Now, in this package, this is that cat panel. So I have 2 more packages, and these are the fabrics for the cat panel that somebody posted in my Quilt Guilds group, and I was like, yeah, I want to make that. So This is the panel. I've already designed it. I'm super excited about it. But it's basically like the artist that did the woman in gold. It is like that, but it's a cat. So he's super beautiful with the golds and the blacks and the browns and like this like pop of red. So this is the main panel. And then let's see. I got 1/4 of a yard of these other prints. Yeah, these ones I got 1/4 of a yard because I'm basically going to remake the one that I got tagged in, but I tweaked it just a tiny bit. So I got this one, and there is actual like gold. There you go. You can see it. Gold in a lot of these. This brown. So these are all going to be like 2x2 patchwork squares. This one. This beautiful brown, reddish brown, rusty brown, and then this black with gold dots. So all of those I got 1/4 of a cut, and that's going to be part of the patchwork around the cat. And then I got those from Fabric Utopia on Etsy. They're out of Goshen, Indiana. So Fabric Utopia. Super fast shipping. All right. And then the last one is from Lorelec Designs. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but Lorelec Designs. Maybe also on Etsy. So these I got some extra of because these are the fabrics that I'm using for the big chunks of border and for part of the backing, as well as some of the 2x2s. So I got 1/2 a yard of this brown. So same as the like rust kind of color with the gold flecks. I got 1/2 a yard of this gold with circles with the little different color like gemstone colors inside the centers. And then this blue is the same as the brown and the rust. This is going to be an inner border and some of the squares as well as the binding. So I got 1 yard of this to do all of that. And then some of this is going to be used in the piecework, but this is going to be the backing. So I got 1.5 yards of this. And then the rest of the backing is going to be like the remaining like scraps of this. It's going to be very scrappy, but majority is going to be the smaller cat prints. How freaking cute are these? So I got 1.5 yards of these guys, and yeah, they're going to be, this is going to be just like a really small, like fun throw. It's, you know, barely functional. It's mostly going to be just for like fun. But anyways, super excited about this. It's so cute. So cute. Anyways, yeah, a little bit of this is going to be used in the actual like front piecework, but then all the rest of it is going to be the backing, and that is super exciting. So that is my haul. I know I went a little crazy. I really truly did. I don't know why this month I've gone a little crazy on fabric. I don't know why. Okay, so I got my blocks back. I was number 101. So I have 101 blocks in here from all around the world. And I'm so stinking excited to look through these. All right, so yeah, I've got to start going through these and seeing what all I got. Yeah, I'm so super like thrilled because some of these fabrics I don't have them. You can't really get them anymore. So super excited to look through these. Ooh. So cute. And we also got a sticker from She Monk Swaps. So that is who is over the swap. Let's see, what is this? Camberville Threads. Free gift, a Ruby Star Society mini charm pack with $50 purchase. 1 use per person, valid until June 30th. And save 10%. Oh, and on the back, it's an EPP cutting cheat sheet. That's pretty cool. And then this is a business that I have shopped with before and really like their Etsy. But they also have an actual website, peartreemarket.com, but they are also on Etsy. But I order from them often. So this is enjoy a 10% discount code until the end of July. So we have a special swap code for that. And I got Ruby Star Society stickers. These were from Market this last year. So that's super exciting. I really love this one and this. These are also really funny. This one says Ruby Star Mart all-purpose quilt in a can, hundreds of uses. And then Crunchy Cotton Pops, part of a balanced breakfast from Selvage and Farms. And it says 100% minimum daily requirement of fiber. And then this one is Sojo, Project Tackling Boost, energy of 100 quilters, energy drink. That is so funny. So anyways, I thought that I would go ahead and include that in this video because I haven't finished it. So anyways, so hey, continuation. It is now the next Friday, June 8th or something or another. I haven't been sewing a whole lot this week. I do have my blocks chained and now I just need to put the rows together. So that's some progress. It's earlier in the day today. So I think I had mentioned in one of the previous clips, one, I wanted this to go up last weekend and that didn't happen. But two, so now you're just getting a 3-week update with like probably the biggest haul ever. Goodness. Anyways, I think I made a comment about placing another order for some final prints for the Teresa Cuget projects. So Halloween Whimsy, Kringle, and Bright Stars. So one of those came in. The border fabric, the additional border fabric that I ordered is coming in today, but since I've shown you that fabric, do I need to show you whenever it comes in? I don't know, but Cotton Cash, I got the rest in. So let me just show you this. I'm also really quickly going to show you the background fabric for the Ruby Star Texas Exploding Heart that I'm doing with my friend Eve at like the end of the summer. So I already showed these and I have 8 more fat quarters to pick up because I have 1 red left to pick up, a couple of white, and most of the blue. But I got the mossy added up for my background fabric. I really wanted to do like an army green kind of color, and I feel like this is just going to be perfect. And the red, white, and blue just looks so nice with it. I think a couple of people who have seen it are a little questioning of my sanity, I think, with that. But anyways, back to Cotton Cash. So okay, this gold stripe is from the Kringle line, and just remember, all of these are Riley Blake, designed by Teresa Cuget, who we all know and love. But this one is going to be the 5th color for the patchwork for the Kringle quilt. And then I had said in the previous clip that I ordered this red from Bright Stars, but it's the same red in Kringle. I ordered this to be the binding because I just really liked it. I thought that it would be really nice and bring some of that out, and it's going to be folded multiple times, so it'll just add a little bit of depth and dimension. But it is from the Bright Stars line, and I'm going to use it with Kringle. And then this piece of black with the snow is going to be the border that I'm going to add around the panel, because that's going to technically be the back of the quilt, technically. So yeah, these are the rest for the Kringle quilt. And then for the Halloween Whimsy, I wanted to add a little bit more of the lighter color into the patchwork side. And also this print is just super cute. So I got the like natural colorway of this print that just has the outlines of some of the different designs from the line. And for the binding, I got this really pretty stripe, which is in my charm packs as well, but I thought this would be a really nice binding around the quilt. So there's that. And then for Bright Stars, I wanted to get something for the binding, but also for backing. So I just got 2 of the neutrals, because in the Bright Stars, I only got the 1 neutral to kind of be my focal fabric. And then I got 2 of the blues and 2 of the red prints. And I just want to make like a table runner with it. So I thought for the back, it would be nice to do another one of the neutrals. So I got the stars. Also, there's stars in the blue and the red, but they are a little bit, maybe not different, because you can kind of see there's like these little like dots and swirls around some of the stars, but they're more, there's one of those little swirls. They're more pronounced in the blue and the red because they're white, or, you know, like kind of like a cream color. And so they just stand out a little bit more. And in this one, it kind of just fades more into the background. So the neutral colorway looks a little bit more different. And so anyways, I got this to be the back, which it may not be the entire back if I make a table runner, but it'll be majority of the back, and the rest of the back can just be pieced from leftovers. But anyways, I thought this would be really cute as a backing, and then I thought this would be really nice as a binding. So I got this one also from Bright Stars, so in the neutral color. And there's also a red and a blue version of this one as well. So that's kind of it. Like I said, the package that is coming today is the same Halloween Whimsy border fabric And so we can put that in the next video, and I will try to do kind of vlog style updates this week because I have so much that I need / want to get done before I can start doing any of these other little smaller fun projects. So yeah, excited. And I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a long one. There's a lot of haul, a lot to see, a lot that happened. Oh, quick update. So I do still need to finish this one Head Start quilt. I had to think of the name of the charity, but Head Start quilt. The other two, they are having a binding class, a free binding class for specifically the Head Start quilts next week, but it's during the week, so I can't go. So they asked for some people to bring their Head Start quilts that hadn't been binded yet for people to do in that free day class, so that way they could get as many of them done as possible. And so I took the other two so that way I could still fix this one. So that's going to be kind of one of my priorities in the next few days, is to try and get this one fixed. But I'll just do the binding on this one myself. And I've already pulled some black from like leftover stash from the Snoopy quilt. So that will be the binding for that guy, which I think will look really good because it has a bunch. That's the one with all the, it has some darker colors. So I already turned the other two in. They're gonna do binding for those. So at least a little bit got taken off of my to-do list, which is fantastic. I'm not gonna be upset about that at all. Anyways, that's it. That's all that I have for you in this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.